To make you aware, this podcast will contain conversations around mental health and well-being and could include issues of a sensitive nature. This is a podcast from Torfaen Talks CIC.
Well, hello.
Hello, everyone.
And we have some updates for you.
We have got some updates for you.
Wow. With money from Torfaen County Borough Council for the social enterprise funding.
That's easy for you to say.
That's very easy for me to say. Fortunate enough to get that and also to get the training to help Torfaen Talk CIC.
It was so much, it really meant a lot to us, not only for the money reasons, which I think a lot of people think with that kind of funding, but to have the mentor and the training has been invaluable to us, isn't it?
It's immeasurable. I know that sounds quite dramatic, but it is true. It is immeasurable.
Because we have got no business in us, really, have we? So it really is good to have that mentoring from Andrew and
from Paul as well, yeah.
Oh, it's been wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then to have the training that you've been able to go on for it.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
And as an offshoot of that, obviously, Men's Space in
Village Hall.
That's been awesome too. With
that launched in
men
December.
Coming together for a cuppa and a chat. And then, obviously, from that, developing new groups. So it's a case of watch this space, isn't it?
Watch this space, coming soon. At least 2 groups that we're going to be starting.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll have some exciting news updates with that, I'm sure, for you shortly. But equally, we've been famous.
Can you believe that?
I know. So we've made it.
Yeah.
I think it's only the online version. I don't think we saw it in actual physical paper. But we made the South Wales Argus.
I know.
Which just came from a quick little message and an email.
Yeah.
And the journalist did his magic on that, to be fair. Made a lot of meat on the bones from what we told him.
That's right, yeah.
It was a lovely writer. A lot's been going on.
It's been a bit of a moment, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of bring it all back to what have we got coming up on this episode?
Firstly, I think you're going to be going up to Blaenavon for the Natter group.
Yeah, talking with Emma up there.
Then you're going... So the thing that every female wants to join is the IfUGoIGo scheme.
Talking with Megan about that. Caught up with her a couple of months back, but it's still going so strong and so well.
Still going strong. I know there's a waiting list, but it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely,
absolutely.
Ladies, get your names down. I have known so many people have gone through the programme. I know that it's really been life-changing for them, but going for the IfUGoIGo scheme.
Awesome.
So honestly, have a little listen to that later. Patrick's interview with Megan. And then at the end, we've got Bryn. I'm sure it's Bryn.
It is Bryn, yes, from the Jacob Abraham Foundation.
Yeah, and what a wonderful foundation that is. It's really worth a listen, everyone, if you can make it to the very end of today's podcast. Yeah, please give it a listen. It's such an important message and a really great foundation.
Absolutely. So let's start at the very beginning. It's a wonderful place to start.
It's a really good place to start, apparently.
Yeah. Let's find out a little bit more about Natter at the Workman's Hall in Blaenavon.
If you'd like to be involved in the podcast, please message or voice note on WhatsApp. Our number is 07851 138 610.
So I'm in the glorious confines of Blaenavon Workman's Hall today, talking with Emma, who's part of you kind of run the Natter group here, don't you, on a Monday?
I do run the Natter Club. I'm also a member of the board that runs the hall.
So you've got many hats on as well?
Lots of hats, yeah.
Yeah, and so today we're here then with Natter. Can you tell me a little bit about the group?
We started a year ago to try and get people back out into the community. I think after COVID, there was a lot of people still isolating and not really doing much. I could also see there's a gap with older people and younger people coming together, learning a skill that's kind of been forgotten. Yeah. And it's something I love as well. So I get to teach a crochet and I have somewhere to hide all my wool as well.
On a basic kind of day, what kind of people come in?
A wide variety of people from, I think my youngest attendee in the evening is about 6. And I would guess, without being too indelicate, into their 90s, maybe my eldest.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So between 6 and 96 or something, isn't it? Wow, that's quite a range. And what do people do when they come here? Because that kind of does what it says on the tin. knit and natter. What do you do with regards to knitting? Do you teach, or do you show as well, or do people just come and...
There's been a host of different people coming along. So there's people that are seasoned knitters, seasoned crocheters, and there's ones that want to learn to do it. So there's always someone here that can help do that. I tend to help with the crochet, and we've got a fabulous lady that knits as well, and she's really patient with people. And there's quite a few of us that get involved with helping people. It's been really nice to see a lot of the kids coming along and learning a new skill, and are now making wonderful projects.
I suppose with Tom Daly with the Olympics, crocheting, that's brought it right into the mainstream, isn't it?
It has, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm also joined with Tracy. Now, Tracy, how did you get involved with this group?
I got involved because we lost my dad nearly 2 years ago. My mum's quite a sociable person, but she got to a point where she wasn't really doing very much. So I heard about the group through Facebook, through Emma. So I brought my mum along. She enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it too. So we've been a sort of permanent fixture since. Through the Knit and Natter group, I mean, much as we enjoy that as well, we've got to know about lots of other things going on in the hall, like Cinema Club, for example. So all of a sudden, my 90-year-old mum, who wasn't doing very much, especially after COVID, a lot of elderly people, even when lockdown was over, they're nervous.
Yes.
She's out all the time.
You can't keep her in now, basically.
No, there's always something that she can be doing. But the Knit and Natter group is something we both enjoy. And as Emma was saying, it is a chance to knit and natter. I think the natter bit is the bit that's so important, the socialising.
Yeah.
I've made new friends. There's people there I've known all my life, but I haven't really talked to before. So it's just a chance to, over some tea and biscuit, it's nice to get to know people from all different walks of life that probably wouldn't in lots of other places. Knitting is the common denominator, or crochet.
You kind of touched upon it a little bit there in the fact of how it brings everybody together for different things. What would you say to somebody who sees it and thinks, I quite fancy doing that, but a little bit apprehensive? What would you say to them?
I would say, just come along and see what you think of it. If they're apprehensive because they don't know how to knit or crochet, that's not a problem. There's plenty of people here who are very happy to help, teach. You don't have to be particularly good. I'm not very good. I'm just a basic knitter and enjoy it. If their apprehension is more down to the social side of it, again, I would say just come along, because we're a very welcoming group, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And whether or not you know someone who's already there. I mean, there's lots of people that have come along on their own. Some people that have been new to the area and have come along, and it's a way of becoming integrated into the community.
It's become its own community then, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Just through knitting and crocheting. So Emma, how do people get involved? Just a case of turning up, is it? Or?
Yeah, just turn up. They can always contact the hall for information. There's someone always replying on the Facebook page. But yeah, Monday I'm here from, I usually get here about 11 o'clock. The clubs start running at 3, and they run all the way through then till 8 o'clock in the evening. 3 till 5 officially, and 6 till 8. But there are people that stay all the way through. Yeah, just come along. There's materials here, they don't need to bring anything. The materials here for them to use is hooks and needles and everything else. Free tea and coffee, and it's £3 a week.
Bargain. What would be the one thing you say to somebody who is a bit apprehensive about coming for the first time?
Just come along. They're really friendly. They'll be absolutely fine. They'll make new friends, and everyone is really, really good with each other, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
It's a real community.
Yeah.
Excellent. Tracy and Emma, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that was the lovely Emma from Knitter Natter at the Workman's Hall, Blaenavon. What a lovely little group to go with. I heard there was a buffet from what you were just telling me.
There was a buffet, there was a bit of a party atmosphere going on.
It's lovely though, isn't it? Sometimes with arts and crafts, we tend to see them as quite isolating things to do on our own in the house. Whereas what's been created there is a space to do it together, and to talk along with it. And my goodness, I've seen people knit. They don't need to concentrate. they can talk and knit at the same time. Now, that is a skill.
Absolutely.
Absolute skill.
And it's lovely as well to see it's like an intergenerational thing too, because you got
there's no age limit on it, is
to
there?
80 there.
8 to 80, wow. No age limit at all there.
No, they're at the Workman's Hall on Mondays.
Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
so pop along there. Even if you're a beginner, I think they welcome everyone, don't they? You don't have to be
Absolutely, yeah.
skilled at knitting.
Yeah.
I think there's crocheting as well. I think as long as there's wool involved,
Yes.
it's being able to do it there, so that's good.
I blame Tom Daly.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm sure they were knitting well before Tom Daly came along.
I think they were.
Absolutely they were. Yeah, weirdly, we're changing a bit of gear now from a little first gear up to second gear now, and we're going into If You Go, I Go, which is a great scheme, really. I think it's all around women saying, well, if you go, I will go with you.
Yeah.
Women buddying up with other women to go to the gym. When you look at it, it really is. So you're now going to chat with Megan about the If You Go, I Go.
Tell me more about the If You Go, I Go programme and what are the aims of it?
Okay, so we as Torfaen Sports Development work in partnership with Torfaen Leisure Trust to run a free 10-week health and physical activity programme for women in Torfaen. So the free IfUGoIGo programme allows local women to participate in weekly group sessions, weekly personal training sessions. They also receive mentoring and nutritional advice to lead a healthier lifestyle. Women on the programme also have access to free gym membership where they can access Torfaen Leisure Trust's classes and gyms, and I also give them the opportunity to try different sports as I work for sports development.
What kind of sports?
So it's entirely up to them. They get to choose different sports. I kind of hand it over to them when I first meet them and say, kind of have a think about what kind of sports you'd like to try. We've done a range of different sports from netball to even boxing to pickleball. It's literally anything they want to try, basically. And then we do it from week 5 to week 10 of the programme. So it's just a way to kind of get them to realise exercise is something different. It's not just always going to the gym. You can do it in different ways, and it's also a good way to kind of push them out of their comfort zone as well. But they're private sessions, so in those sports sessions it would just be me, the women and the instructor.
What would you say people coming on this course, what kind of challenges has this programme faced, and what have you done to overcome them? How has it kind of gone over those barriers?
Yeah, so now that actually links in well what I just spoke to you about, because this is a new project, so the aim of it is to get more women more active more often. So what I did struggle with at the start, I suppose, and one of the barriers was linking with sports clubs to actually do women only sessions, because so when they come on and they try the sports with me, they actually really enjoy the sport. So as a way then after the 10 weeks I'll try and get them to actually go into that club and continue with that sport. But a lot of sports clubs don't have like women only sections, or they're not very beginner level. So for a woman who, for example, who's done a sport, for example boxing, and then they really enjoyed it, they loved it, but then they have to go into a mixed session, which is quite a hard ability. It's not something they feel comfortable doing. So I've actually worked with those sports clubs now over time, and we've managed to like work together now to set up women only sessions. So if women, and it's not just for my women on the programme, women in Torfaen can join these sessions then. So if then they do find a sport that they really enjoy, then they can go and try those sports in those sessions, basically.
So what about some of the people who have taken part in the previous programmes?
We've had a lot of success over the time I've done it. So for example, I've had nearly, since doing it, I suppose close to 200 women going through with it, which is a big number of women. We've had a lot of like beneficial things happen with women. So for example, we've had women who've now led a much more healthier, more active lifestyle, and is literally changed their life for the better. So we've had women on the programme who are diabetic and now they've reversed their diabetes. We've had also women with fertility issues and they've been able to have IVF treatment, and we've also had women who are on medication, so for their physical and mental health, and now they've come off that medication completely. I'll give you two like main examples, because these are the ones that really like stand out to me. So first met with this one woman, and because she joined the program because she got diagnosed with pre-diabetes, so it really like shocked her, and she was really struggling with her weight at the time. So she joined in July 2022, and since she's been on the program, she's lost 5 stone in weight.
Wow. Okay.
And she's seen a massive improvement in her health. So she's managed to reverse her onset 2 type 2 diabetes, and she's reduced her blood glucose levels from 46, which is pre-diabetic, back to 31, which is the lowest possible level it can be. So, for example, she's literally, if I read a quote from her, she says, "I know for certain I would not be where I'm now if I never participated in this program, and if I never received the support that I needed so desperately. My life has dramatically improved as a result of the IfUGoIGo program, and it's also had a positive impact on my children, particularly now my son, who has joined the gym and exercises regularly." So I also see him now in the gym, which is really nice. So it shows there's a beneficial like impact on them. And then this other one to us is like the biggest outcome we've ever had, and it's really made a massive difference to this woman's life as well. So I first met with a woman when she was trying to start a family, but she was unsuccessful for 2 years, so that was the reason she joined the program. So she wanted to try and lose weight to help with polycystic ovary syndrome. So since being on the IfUGoIGo program, this woman has also now lost 5 stone in weight, and was eligible to get fertility treatment.
Wow.
That she's always been waiting for. But if I read this quote from this woman, it was kind of shocked us, because we all thought she had IVF and we was waiting to see the results from this. But when the woman, if I was to read this, she says, "After losing 5 stone in weight, I was finally eligible to private fertility treatment. I had some testing done, and all signs of my polycystic ovary syndrome has been reversed. There was no cyst, which I'd been previously told would make conceiving difficult. Between testing and starting treatment, I fell pregnant naturally after 5 years of trying. My pregnancy has been very easy. All my tests are coming back perfect, and I've been told that this is due to weight loss and lifestyle I've followed. I wouldn't have achieved this without the IfUGoIGo, and now I can finally say this woman has now been able to start a family and has given birth to a baby boy very recently, which is amazing."
Yeah. The other question, I suppose, really would be, how does a program like this measure success and the impact within the community? And in real terms there, that one lady who's now started a family, because at the very start she wasn't able to, and now she is. So well.
I suppose we measure success and impact on basically seeing the number of women who we can get active, and also who remain active after the 10-week program. We don't want women to see the 10-week program as something that they do, and then it's kind of, once that ends, their health and fitness journey ends. We want to basically give them the tools they need, so give them the healthy habits and behaviours that they need to continue with their health and fitness journey. So we kind of measured the success then on what happens after mainly the 10-week program as well. So we've seen a lot of women now, I would say all of them have signed up to gym memberships afterwards with the Torfaen Trust, which is amazing. They've also basically done loads of different challenges, fitness challenges. They've joined sports clubs, they've signed up to PT sessions, they've even done 10Ks with us through my work. We've just done recently the McMorris Newport 10K, and Wednesday we also done the Colour Dash 5K together as well, which was really good. Yeah, I suppose it's just getting women who's been sedentary with poor mental, physical health, and basically helping them to adopt behaviours and for exercise to now be a part of their lifestyle, because we don't want women to see exercise as negative. We want them to see something positive and beneficial. And because of this now, as I've read some of the stories, that their health has massively improved from that.
So it's really creating a safe space for a woman to come in to feel comfortable at the end of the day. What kind of things have you got coming up now with IfUGoIGo?
I'll go over the 10-week program briefly, because just to explain that. So to be a part of the 10-week program, women fill out an application form, and then they'll meet with me prior to the 10 weeks. So for anyone who thinks they just go straight into the 10-week program, that's not the case. They get to meet with me individually, and I get to explain the 10-week program and what to expect with them. And it kind of just helps women feel comfortable then when they go into that group environment for the first time with other women, and realise actually all the concerns have kind of been addressed, because they know that the women who they're with are literally
on the same journey,
and literally meeting other like-minded women who feel the exact same as them. Because this year I had over 300 applications.
That's a few. Yeah. Okay.
And I can only take 20 women per cohort. Women can basically apply for the application form and go on my Facebook page, IfUGoIGo, or on the Torfaen website. I want to make them feel as comfortable as possible when they come to any of the sessions, when they come to the 10-week program. It's about showing them that actually women can go to the gym and they can actually, if you go in there feeling comfortably, it's just they need the knowledge, they need somebody there to help them. I know it was very daunting myself when I first started the gym. I had no clue what I was doing. I actually went with my brother, which is probably more embarrassing now than going on my own.
More for him or for you?
I know.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared to just step into that environment. So I can definitely imagine, just from speaking to the women, all of their concerns about going into that environment and thinking that everyone's staring at them, thinking they're going to do something incorrectly. So once I give them that knowledge and I show them, and actually some people, you actually make up a situation in your head and think it's worse than it is, and then when you actually go in, they realise, right, this is not as bad as I thought.
Right,
yeah, it's about making women feel comfortable and confident and in that environment. And at the end of the day, everyone should have a place in exercise, like going into a gym and being able to exercise, and we want to try and do everything possible to make that happen, basically.
Yeah, so if I had a magic lamp, and I could grant a wish or 3 wishes even, what would be the future goal or plan for IfUGoIGo?
Right, okay, so I suppose the future plan or goal for IfUGoIGo would be to continue to support as many women as I possibly can. It is quite limited. It's me and Nicola, who's the other personal trainer, but we are doing everything we can to support as many women. So just from touching on what you said before as well, like we've literally looked at the 10-week program and tried to adapt it, but not from what we think, but from listening to women on the program. So we've brought in more people now to support us. We've got nutritionists, we've got psychologists, we work with sports clubs, so we wanted to try and give them the best possible experience of the 10 weeks so they can continue. So I suppose that's the main thing. And I have noticed something from when I've done the 10-week program, when I meet with women and they say to me they've applied because their mental health's not in a good place, their physical health. A lot of the time is because they prioritise everyone else except over their own needs, and it's difficult because they don't want to go to the gym and think, actually I'm giving that time to myself when I should be doing all these other things. But I always tell women, actually, you doing that, it will literally benefit your health and your mental health and everyone else's in your family as well. And it's basically the 10 weeks and all the other sessions I plan. It's just to have women, to give that women that time that they need and which everyone needs, and to make them feel healthy, happy and confident, and just to get them to enjoy exercise. It shouldn't be seen as a chore. Like I know a lot of women see as like a chore and as negative, but once you're in it and you know what you're doing, it really isn't like that. And one thing that I am doing as well, which I kind of mentioned, is because the program's so successful, I'm also this year trialled a similar project with teenage girls in a school, because I know, again, like women from, I think it's year 9, the teenage girls actually see a significant drop out of exercise. To me then, it's I kind of want to intervene early so then they actually don't feel like the women in the future.
That's right, yeah. You're telling them exactly as it is early, it's kind of education. Then as they grow up, they'll be remembering from when they were younger, be like, well, it becomes more natural. Yeah,
definitely, because when I do speak to those girls, they have the exact same mindset as the women in terms of like they see now they actually don't know how to feel comfortable exercising. They don't know what they're doing. They think everyone's watching them. So we kind of address all those barriers basically. And like one thing we do with the women is we give them a black matching IfUGoIGo t-shirt, and on that t-shirt it literally has our slogan on there saying more women, more active, more often. And that t-shirt makes the women feel comfortable, because then when they do go into the gym and then when they do go into classes, people know they're on the program, people are more likely to support them, women will come up to them and speak to them. The top is kind of like a little community now.
It's a sisterhood.
And like a lot of women I see now after the 10 weeks, I was thinking, are these women going to wear these tops after the 10 weeks? But now you literally will see an army of these women wearing these tops.
It's a gym gear now every time. yeah.
So it's amazing to see, and it shows that they're like proud to be a part of the project, and everyone wants to kind of, I suppose I just want to empower women and girls to feel confident in themselves, to feel happy, and to just be healthy as well, because we know there's a lot of issues at the moment with obesity and poor mental health. So I'm really passionate about just kind of helping as many women as I possibly can.
So you've touched upon it earlier. How do people find out more information? Although you've got a bit of a waiting list at the moment.
Yeah.
If people want to find out and learn more, where can they find that information?
Yeah, so the best one I would say is probably my Facebook page, because I update that regularly. So so as well as if you have got any concerns of what the 10-week program is about, on there you can literally see all the photos I post of all the activities, all the sessions, all the women who go through it, and the women will always comment on all the posts as well, and they'll give you their honest opinion of things, and they just, it's a community, and we've really built it up. Like the Facebook page went from, I suppose, like 200 followers to now we've gone nearly 1,700 women. Wow. I would definitely say go on there and have a look, because I keep that updated regularly, and I'll always put the new activities on there with every bit of information on there.
So if people want to find out, it's all on Facebook. Megan, thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.
So that was the lovely Megan from the IfUGoIGo. And if you'd like to refer yourself, then it's all over their socials on how to get in touch.
They have got a waiting list as well. So if you're thinking, well, I might actually get on there fairly quickly, I don't think you will at the moment, but check their socials. All the information is there of how to become part of it. Because Megan was talking on there about how lovely it is to see people in the gym wearing the IfUGoIGo t-shirts.
Yes,
so there's like a proper little family unit.
It's a little nod, I think, when you go to the gym and see another female in that t-shirt, you know they've been on the scheme. It's a little nod to each other that you know. Yeah. You know, it's like a little club in itself, and I think that's what's going to be good as this goes on. So it is worth the wait, not just for the t-shirt, but it is worth the wait just from the confidence that you will gain just from being around other empowering women, really.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wanting to go to the gym and build their strength. It's worth putting your name down for the waiting list. It absolutely is.
Definitely, yeah. And we kind of changed gear again on this episode.
We do, yeah.
We travel from Blenavon to Pontypool, but now we talk with Bryn from the Jacob Abraham Foundation.
Bryn is at Cambran Library monthly, drop in, and we are very much aware at the moment Cambran Library has a refurbishment, so it won't be happening right now, but please check out on their website and socials. There is still support available. It's support for anyone who's having suicidal thoughts. It's support for anyone grieving through suicide. It's really important, and we know that this really does change the gear when we're talking, but it's important to talk about suicide and not be afraid of the word. It shouldn't be taboo to talk about it. It makes it a taboo when it happens. Please, it is around making it conversation okay to talk about suicide. Please know that Bryn is there. This is the interview with him and Patrick.
The Jacob Abraham Foundation, we provide support to those at risk of taking their own lives. We also provide training around, we called it brief intervention training, so almost normalising asking someone the question of, first of all, how are you? But also, are you thinking of taking your own life?
Yes.
Because it's a scary question.
It is, absolutely,
I mean, I
definitely.
still, when I have to ask the question, I have to take a breath and think, okay, I need to ask this. And then the third strand is around post-vention. So that's providing bereavement support to those bereaved through suicide. We're based partly in Cardiff, partly in Gwent, so we offer different services. So
right, okay.
I'll probably just, to start off, maybe clarify, because I'm aware,
sure.
So the people who are listening to this might be more Gwent-based or Torfaen. So within Gwent region, it's the post-vention.
Right.
So it's the bereavement support we offer, essentially.
Yes, yeah.
So essentially, if someone takes their own life aged 26 or above, Gwent Police have instant access to refer to us.
Right,
and then we can provide normally within 3 working days we can get in touch with the family. So it's very immediate response, and that's all built from the ethos which the charity was developed by. In Cardiff we deliver all 3. We're looking at moving the training and actually offering it within the Gwen region as well. That's sort of how we're working. But now really with funding.
With regard to the kind of things you do, you talked then about postvention. How does prevention work?
So the preventative work, essentially people would get in touch. A lot of our work comes from self-referrals.
Okay.
So it's, it could be anybody, who's finding things tricky, and they'll get in touch with the service and say that I could do with some support. It might be they use different terminology, like feeling low, feeling depressed, that sort of language, and then we unpick a bit. So we provide an assessment, and it's just finding out a bit more about them, letting them know about us, and then it is also asking the question, are you thinking of taking your own life? Straight away.
Okay.
Because it essentially, if you ask in the first session, you're setting out, this is what we're here for. And again, normalising it, because quite a lot of people who we support may not have been able to say yes to family members, friends, other services. So having somebody directly ask it, sometimes you can see the weight lift when they say, actually I am having these thoughts, so I do have a plan. Other people say, no I don't, I'm not at that stage. So it's looking at various levels of support there, whether it's groups, so we do sort of a wellbeing group, so just being around people, and having that sort of support, or we offer one-to-one therapeutic support. In general 6 sessions to begin with, to help them build a safety plan, find out what works, what can support them, what services can support them, because something I should probably say is we're not a crisis service. So it's very much, if people come to us, we encourage them to let their GP know, go to the GP, but obviously it's looking at the level and the risk, which is why we do the initial assessment, and we're just checking that the right support is accessible to them, as well as ourselves.
Okay, we talked about prevention. Now, postvention, we're in Cumbrian Library now. On a monthly basis, you have a group here, don't you?
Yeah, so every Monday morning, 10 o'clock till 11 o'clock in Cumbrian Library. So we run, it's sort of just a support group, essentially. So it's a coffee or cup of tea and a chat. Being bereaved through suicide can feel very isolating.
It can be, And
it's something we found, since the charity was set up, really, is kind of how Nicola, the founder, developed elements of it, was through group work. It's just being around somebody who gets it. If you say you're having a tricky day, they understand what it means, because bereavement through suicide is very different to
normal bereavement, isn't it?
Normal bereavement,
definitely.
So let's use that term. Normal bereavement, because, for example, if somebody is diagnosed with cancer, it's horrible, completely. But sometimes you're fortunate to have a timescale and have that pre-grief, where you do start to understand what's about to happen and have the goodbyes and that element. Whereas with suicide, you don't. It happens, and there's no closure. There's not really the ending, essentially. So so we felt having a group, just allows people just come and have a chat, and actually sometimes not talk about it. Like we've naturally, we're British, we talk about the weather. That always comes up. We were moaning about how it was lovely last week, and now it's muggy, it's raining. That just happens. And then we talk then about house sales, because that was just the topic where somebody's house had just gone through, and it was kind of an ending, the family home. So it really varies, and I'm as informal as possible within the groups, and I try and say as little as possible, because I'm like, just let them talk.
You just facilitate their conversation. You're kind of there. If they ask you a certain question that you know the answer to, then you can be part of it, but not lead the conversation, I suppose.
So one of the things being talked about, I'll normally find a bit of time where I'll just come in and give a little bit of education, or just alter some of the ways they're thinking. Sometimes I'll put in a different view as well. If there's sort of friction in different areas, and I might come from the other side and say, well, how about this? What have you thought about this? And just a bit of challenges.
I suppose it's a community really of people who have a common denominator. And that common denominator is suicide. People with grief, people don't really understand grief, but then with suicide there's a different level altogether, isn't there? So you've got an understanding, it's like an unsaid understanding, I suppose.
And I think it's naming the fact that still suicide is seen as a taboo. we don't talk about it. Historically, it was always, oh no, we don't talk about that family member, they took their own life. Or, historically, the phrase committed is used, which, if you obviously research, you'll be surprised how many people still say it, even on TV, radio, everything. It was in the early 60s, it was deemed not a crime to take your own life or to attempt to take your own life. There's a lot of people from that generation still alive. So naturally, the terminology is still there, but I use it, friends, family, anyone, I use it as an opportunity to educate. So let me just pause there. This is the terminology we use, and this is why.
Yes.
And just let them know why.
The other thing, obviously, what does the future lie now for the Jacob Abraham Foundation?
Okay, so within obviously Cardiff, so we're fortunate to be funded by Big Lottery. So we have another 3 years, which is great, and we're kind of continuing sort of along the line of the three-strand approach. We're lucky that our training has now been accredited. So we can actually offer accredited brief intervention training and bereavement training to people. So if people get in touch, we can organise sort of the best way in offering that. Luckily, we've grown in team members as well, which is lovely, because it means that we can explore other opportunities. So things, we're running a family day at St Fagans.
Oh wow!
And actually so we have a play therapist who can support children who are bereaved through suicide, and actually have a family event of them coming together, getting involved in more things such as the Hope Walks, which are taking place in October and around those times, and actually for ourselves being present around that, because it is nice that the size we're at, it's a nice size service, if that makes sense. And it means at present we don't have waiting lists because of how we offer the support. So it's an immediate, okay, we can speak to you, we can see you. From there it might be, we'll have to wait to allocate things. We managed to expand our support to where we've got therapists, we've got counsellors, we've got practitioners, we're running more groups. So it's kind of, it's not, we're kind of seeing where the need is and develop from there. So an example is we run in Cardiff a couples group. So that's for anyone bereaved of a partner, because there was a period of time where we were getting a lot of referrals for those bereaved through a partner, and we were like, it's bereavement through suicide, but it's bereavement of a completely different relationship. So let's develop a group. So we did that. For example, if we were able to have maybe an office or a base in Cwmbran or something like that, then we could run more groups, do some events. But it's also the awareness that if the funding stops, the support which people are accessing might stop suddenly, and that's another sudden bereavement, sudden ending. So that's why I'm very careful. I'm really trying to work out how much we do, because it's needed. There's a massive need, but I would hate to suddenly meet someone and say, right, well, I can support you for a year, and then in 2 months' time this part of the job's gone. And I'm like, can you get to Cardiff, or how can you do this? It's really getting that consistency and allowing them to experience a positive ending with myself as well. It
is about awareness too with any third sector organisation, getting the word out there, because when you're in the sector you know about these things. Outside of the sector, probably not so much. That is probably it's a hard battle to face, as well as funding. Talking there a little bit about the growing team, I suppose, but how did you start with the Jacob Abraham
with
Foundation?
So interesting. So I came from Bernardo's background.
Oh wow, okay.
So I was with Bernardo's, I think I was with them for 11 years, 12 years. Okay. Developed from there into, become a qualified drama therapist, so I did my training on the side. Kind of just came from a bit of interesting links, I guess. So Nicola's Jacob's mother, so she founded the charity, but Nicola used to work in the room upstairs at Bernardo's.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of knew Nick via that. But then also, Nicola's brother Martin, who's the head trustee, I coach a rugby team with him. I mentor a rugby team in Cardiff.
Right.
And that's what I mean. So I think it came with a bit of conversations, and I was like, I'm just going to send an email and just see what's there. So I met with them just before they submitted the first lottery bid. I think it was end of 2020. We sat and we had a bit of a chat, talking through things, and then it was just waiting. for the bit, and then when it got approved, we had an online interview. Because we were during that time,
that's right, yeah.
Everything was online, and it kind of just came from there. But I guess my interest in bereavement, in death, has been a lot longer than that, really. So that started when I was doing my GCSEs. My mum used to run a respite home for children with severe life-limiting illnesses and things.
Wow.
So I've been kind of around the theme for a long time. And then in 2007, experienced my own sort of bereavement, a personal friend. So it kind of, again, it's been there.
It's been, in the background,
It's always been around, and I've always had an interest in death, in bereavement, and then the suddenness, the differences, the impacts it can have on people. So I'm a hoot at a party, I can tell you that. It's great. It literally goes one of two ways. Either I end up sat talking to someone for about 2 hours and really going into it, or somebody won't look at me for the rest of the time. So
that's got to be so awkward.
It can be. My wife finds it interesting. She's like, "Oh, you want to talk to Brent because his job's more interesting." And there's some people just want to come near me.
But at the same time, that could be a pro, because you can kind of go and talk to them. Then that way, then they'll leave.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway. Yeah. Just putting that out there. Then.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like your interest has been there for an awful long time.
Yes, yeah, and it continues to grow. So where initially I was working with a lot of bereavement, and sort of just the theme of bereavement and death, it's kind of sort of, I've narrowed my interests more and more. So there was a key area in the vulnerability of men, showing masculinity, and actually how as men can we be vulnerable, the whole impact of different things that were coming out, different projects, different agendas that were being pushed, and the impact it had on men. And then obviously attaching in bereavement through suicide, attaching in access and support. So I've kind of, because why not, I decided to start a professional doctorate. I'm 2 years into that, and that's researching how to support men bereaved through suicide into services and to access it, and what would work. I've got ideas that might, and there's ways which I'm working currently that work, but then it's actually, let's do a more academic process and move into, I guess, an expertise area really around men, bereavement, and specifically around.
Somebody's listening to this now, they want further information. How can they do that?
So naturally we're on social medias, so I know we're definitely on Facebook and Instagram, so follow us on those, because Amanda, our office manager, she's fab on social media. I don't know how half the stuff she does or how she does it. If you follow us on there, we're really active in sharing a lot of things, not just ourselves but of other services as well, because we're very aware, it's a bit of a postcode lottery, because when we offer this card, if we offer this, but then there's services further afield as well. So if you look in more rural farming community, there's a different service. You go in West Wales, so we kind of share and connect with people that way. You can get in touch with us, so the email is contactus@jacobsfoundation.org.uk. That's probably the best way, because then if it comes in, we kind of see who is more relevant to, but if you do contact us
is much easier then.
And that's on our website as well, so you can click a button and get in touch. We do have a YouTube channel where we've recently uploaded a bit more of an intro to the team. So it was before we sort of recruited a couple more people who've come on board, but you can find out more about how we work and actually see some of our faces, because sometimes that's the scariest thing, is not knowing who you're going to talk to or how we're going to look or how old we're going to be. So and stepping through that door the first time is nerve-wracking, which is where like I said, I'm as informal as possible. We're both here in shorts and t-shirt, probably not appropriate for the weather outside, but that's just how I work. I really try and just be as relaxed and make it as comfortable for people to talk about something that brings a lot of discomfort.
Because sometimes if you're going into a room and you're in a shirt and trousers, it's not really that comfortable for the people who you want to talk to. It doesn't seem that you'd be very approachable.
No, and it's a bit of a status thing. And for me, I'm not comfortable in shirt and tie. And that's, again, we like to challenge the stereotype of therapy and counselling, where a lot of people, when some people do like it, where you meet in a room, and you just have that space, that's protected and you can talk through. So we offer that model, but then a lot of work I try and do is in the community. So it's going for a coffee, it's going for a walk, it's getting the normalising of activities, and actually you can get just as much powerful work done just being alongside somebody, in their grief journey, walking through, parks or woodlands, or encouraging exercise and that sort of element as well. So, our models vary depending on what the person needs. So that's where it's person-centered as possible. Because if you want to do something different, then let's do something different. Because I'm always open for learning. What settings, different ways, how it can work, exercise. And all of that.
Bryn from the Jacob Abraham Foundation, thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.
And that there was the very inspiring Bryn from Jacob Abraham Foundation, and what a wonderful cause it is.
Absolutely, yeah. Their 3 mission statements are intervention, prevention and postvention. And as you said before, talking about suicide is probably one of the hardest things that people find. Yeah. But to normalise it is probably the best thing to do as well.
I feel it is so important to normalise talking about suicidal thoughts so we can then prevent that person from acting on it, than to normalise, as it seems to at the moment, we talk about people taking their life by suicide and the funerals around that, and I'd much rather be talking to someone about their suicidal thoughts than at their funeral for being from suicide. I really would.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you are having suicidal thoughts, and especially feel you're going to act upon them, please know there is support in place. And if there's urgent support you need in place, then please know the Samaritans are available on 116 123. So that's 116 123, and they are there to listen any day, any time.
And that finishes this episode.
Yes, it's gone quick.
It has, definitely.
Yeah, we do know it's been a bit of a roller coaster. We've gone from knitting to going to the gym to suicide, but that's what community is about and is what is happening in people's lives. Yeah. So please know support is available for everything, if that's for your mental health or your well-being, and we hope to cover all of those things. So please know that our low-cost counselling service is available to anyone living in the borough of Torfaen, and if you're over 18.
And you can contact us via the website of torfaentalkcic.org.uk, and on Facebook, search for Torfaen Talk CIC.
If you'd like to be involved in the podcast, please message or voice note on WhatsApp. Our number is 07851 138 610. This is a podcast from Torfaen Talks CIC.